Okay, y'all, your girl is doing her own little silk press. Not too bad, huh? And I worked out this morning, so really not too bad. I did, what did I do? I did a full body at 7:30 with Tune Day. I'm a Peloton fanatic, in case you didn't know. And then I did Pilates with Rebecca Kennedy, and sis be trying, it was power Pilates. Sis be trying to take you out. That's all I want you to know. But I did an ab check and they ain't there yet. Anyway, I got some exciting news I wanted to share with y'all. And that is your girl just enrolled in real estate school to get her license. It's been a long time coming. I said I was going to do it. Now I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. Because, you know, you start to look at the wind and the waves, right? And you're already walking on water. And that's basically where I am. So I did it. So I start very soon and will have my license by the time the summer comes. Got a lot of plans that I'm going to put in place. And I just wanted to make that announcement because, y'all, this job market is beast. And I started thinking about it. And I was like, you know, I was telling my daughter that this morning, actually. So I worked at the local telephone company, and my goal was always to retire in 30 years. And I've worked 30 years, not for that telephone company like I planned to, but I have worked 30 years. And so now's the time. And I went into real estate. I got laid off from that company like 15 years later. And I went into real estate. It was a crash of the market though in 2008. I did pretty good though. I will say in 2 years, and I don't know if I've got the number only because I kept it on my resume, but I sold 1.6 million in real estate. I don't know if that was in the course of 1 year or 2 years or how that spanned out, but 1.6 in a crash. And I wasn't active my second year, so I'm going to say it was the first year, because my second year I actually went into what's referral status, and I kept my license, but I would refer, and I was making money then too, y'all. So because I've always talked the talk. It is my passion, it's my love. I'm excited to do it. It just took me just pulling the trigger. That's really all it took, was for me to finally pull that trigger. So yeah, I'm doing it. Bay and I were talking last night, setting some goals for our children, because, you know, it's about generational wealth. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. This house that I'm sitting in right now, generational wealth. So anyway, just wanted to share that exciting news with you. Like I said, when I was a little girl, I've always loved houses. Like, I'm a fanatic about decor. I'm a fanatic about houses. Like, I'm like, oh, that's nice. No, I don't like that. No, don't put that there. You know, that's always who I've been. And I even, previously, when I did have my real estate career, I was selected to be on HGTV. I was on a show that no longer comes on. And I used to have people come up to me and say, I think I saw you in the middle of the night on TV at work, because I went back to corporate America. And I'm like, yep, that was me. So your girl's back. I've even actually, I think I got the disc right over here. I saw it somewhere, but I still got the disc. I need to get a DVD player so I can record that, because that was definitely an honor. So your girl is back. Look forward to more content. We're getting back to Decor by Faith. But we are gonna, you know, we're gonna get you, girl, we gotta get your money straight. Actually, boy, we gotta get your money straight too, because, or should I say, bruh. We gotta get your money straight too, because I looked at my analytics and actually have more men that watch than women. So whoever you are, yeah, let's get your money straight. I just sent the text out to my friends and family, so I'm getting a lot of people responding. But I've been out here. This job market, as I was saying, is beast. It's been almost a year. Actually, not the day that I start, but the day before. So almost 1 year later. I should have did this a long time ago, and I thought about it several times. But anyway, the day that I start the class, The next day will be 1 year anniversary of me being notified that I was being laid off. So not quite the place that I wanted to be, no. And yes, I did envision myself continuing that. And as I share it with friends and family, somebody come to me with an offer, $100 plus. This will be, actually, let me not say that, because I'd already said, I was going to go back to corporate America, was my plan, go back to corporate America and build my business. Well, corporate America ain't calling. I got a rejection this morning, and they're continuing to do that. And that's fine. That is fine, because I believe sometimes God will redirect you. And that's where I feel that I am. So like I said, I always plan and said when I was a young mother, I would tell my kids that I was going to be at the beach and they were going to be calling me and looking for me and saying, have you talked to mommy? And I was going to be gone. So it happened, right? I came here for a job, and that job let me go. And actually, the lady that did it, she had malicious intent for doing it, but I believe God uses all things together for the good, because that's what his word says, right? So that's fine. I can accept right now where I'm at. And I was thinking about that. I watched somebody else's video, actually, and I was thinking about that, the gratitude that I have. So I am grateful. I'm grateful I don't have to get up, because I would have dreaded getting up this morning. Trust me, I would have dreaded getting up, because that place had me so stressed out. And I like the people that I work with, but it's like being in a bad relationship. There's some goods, but then abusive relationship, I should say. There's some good, but then mostly, for the most part, it's draining. And you got to protect your peace. So I am grateful that I'm no longer there. I'm also grateful that God has kept me, because I haven't had an income. So I did have a little piece put away. I was working towards a retirement, but I'm grateful that God has kept me. And it's almost, next week it will be 1 year that he's kept me. Unemployment is a joke. In Florida, it's a joke. How someone can find employment in 12 weeks, how someone can survive on that little piece. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful. But my point is, it's not sufficient. And so I have decided, like I said, I can't tell you how many times I've applied for roles, and I know I can run circles around them. I know I can. So even if someone came to me tomorrow from one of my previous apps and said, hey, you're right, you're the right candidate, because I am. Even if they did that, I'm still going to continue down this path, because eventually my goal was to get there. I can't technically, quote unquote, retire. I'm too young and I don't have money. I've been living off of what was going to be my retirement. So at any rate, I just wanted to share that with you, because I'm excited. And if you're in this job market, this may or may not be for you, but think outside of the box. My daughter, every day, she's at that age, and I used to be there too, she's got a new business idea. And the thing about business is it's got to solve a problem, right? So even in me going into real estate, I'm going to solve a problem. I've got a whole idea on how I'm going to approach the market. And it came actually during Helene, when we were on a plane with packed, full capacity, with people flying from Indiana to Florida. So that's part of it. I'm not going to share all the details of my business plan, but that's part of it. But you look for a problem. You see a problem and you identify it and you solve that. That's what business is. And even in this market, I want to encourage you, even in this market, regardless of tariffs and all that other stupidity that we've got going on, because that stuff ain't going to last, y'all. It ain't going to last. Even if it does last for 4 years, it's not going to last, because our next administration is going to get in and turn all that stuff around. So don't worry about that. Don't let that stop you. Don't. Move forward in your plans. Now, I will share, with a lot of the restrictions that they're removing, I wouldn't necessarily go into, a business that like Section 8. I wouldn't try to necessarily go and count on Section 8 as my funding. Wouldn't do it. Not right now. Not right now. But my focus is because they're still first-time buyers, and I know that they're trying to actually put together, because my representative sent out information that they're trying to put together something for affordable housing and for first-time home buyers. So I'll definitely target that market because that's my passion. I was a first-time home buyer, and one of my videos, I didn't even have a license, and I was talking about that. And then secondly, the high-end market. There's not going to be any people that got money. They're not worried about, that 1%. They're not worried about all the other things. So those are going to be my target markets, and that's what I would suggest for you if you're thinking about going into business. Like I said, my daughter calls me every day. She's got a different business idea that she's going to run with, and that should be our mindset too. So thank you for encouraging me, Stink, my little shorty, for encouraging me to do what I always knew was on my heart. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you all because, like I said, a lot of content will be coming your way. So if you have not already subscribed, I would suggest you do that. I'm going to talk about credit. I'm going to do what I can to help you all to be successful and to achieve home ownership. I still believe in it. I saw some, I think it was an actor, and he was talking about he didn't really make a lot of money in real estate. Okay, bro, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't go for home ownership. And I believe that there is a lot of money in investment property. I do. But that doesn't mean, don't say that. Don't say your experience, like, where were you at? Where were you, because he was saying that the return on investment just wasn't there. Okay, where were you investing at? Because not every market's the same. But when I decided to buy a home, the first thing I thought about is, girl, Florida. Who doesn't want to live in Florida? Who doesn't want to rent property in Florida? Like, it's Florida. The weather is, I'd say, probably 11 months out of the year stellar. Maybe give it to, I thought about that rain season. But even with that in mind, like, it's beautiful weather. I can go to any beach that I want to within at least 1 hour, and I could go a little further. So I'd say about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And if I want to go to Miami is 3-4 hours away. If I want to go up north to, what is that city? I can't think of the city. It's not Austin, that's Texas. I can't think of the city. But anyway, if I want to go north, like, I'm physically located in a situation where either way, I've got some of the best, Augustine, I think. Anyway, I've got some of the best tourist areas, and I get to live here. So that in and of itself, the market definitely matters. So anyway, I just wanted to share that announcement. I rambled. I talked about a lot of different things. I hope I encouraged you. I hope if you're laid off and you're looking at this job market daily. I got a friend, she started her business. She started before, I think, actually post-COVID, but she was kind of forced into it. And that's where I feel that I'm at. So if you're laid off, don't expect God to do things traditionally like he's always done. I put in the application, they call me, I interview, I got the job. Sometimes God's doing a new thing. That's what he said in his word. So look for a new thing, and I'll let that be the last thing that I say. But I appreciate your support. I appreciate you liking and subscribing. And if you know anybody in the Florida market, you yourself is what I'm going to encourage, because it's definitely a place to invest money. So that's all I had to share. I'm so excited, y'all. Be blessed. And this is factual. Some of these videos, I know this is another, I'm like, do I want my glasses on or not? Some of these videos that you watch, though, I watched this girl's talking about she got laid off, and she got all these videos, and then she says she got a job. But you said on the 29th you got laid off. You got a job offer on the 1st. We got all these videos, and now you're going to tell us you had a job. So all this time you've been working. You had a job. This is YouTube though, but this is factual, 100% factual. No, things could change. Like I said, if I got a job offer, I'm still going to go down this road because I want to build my business. So you'll be along for that. But that's it. Y'all be blessed. It's the start of a new week. We've got new opportunities, new blessings, new mercy, new love. This is, and I love Easter. I don't know if I might have shared that. I did share that on a video last week. I love Easter because it's renewal, right? So we just remember what God told us. So y'all be blessed and have a great day. And yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can do it. Be blessed.